We got Buzz Williams. Let's do questions.
Buzz, I was, as we all were so impressed with, Andy during that stretch when y'all, I guess you went on a 9-0 run. I think he had the assist. Even when he missed, y'all got the put back. So were y'all looking specifically for Andy at that time because of a matchup, or was it just the way the game was unfolding?
Yeah, I don't know if today it would have been matchup specific. Sometimes it is, not only Andy. Maybe how they handle ball screens, maybe how they defend the post. Sometimes that's true. I thought Andy played with incredible poise, obviously Tuesday, and I thought some of that was taking place again today. There was some new stuff that we put in on Thursday morning that I thought was good for us. I thought the guys had really good confidence in it. And then I thought Lau did an incredible job in his play calling relative to time, score, and momentum. They started changing some of the things that they were doing, and our guys were handling that really well. But I thought Andy and Solo were tremendous on both sides of the ball. And for guys who do things that are not always in the stat sheet in this homestand, I thought both of them moved the needle for us in a positive way.
Was Coach Cal said he couldn't keep Big Z in the game because he kept kind of getting attacked at the rim. Just curious, maybe what you guys liked about that matchup and how you liked about how, you guys had 8 shots blocked, but you also kind of took it to them at times.
Yeah, we not being condescending, we may play them again, so I don't want to get too far into that conversation. I know you didn't ask it that way. What I would say in preparing for them, and I do think our guys were aware of this, and I think I mentioned it to either Travis or Alex yesterday, they're tremendous in the open floor. And the rim pressure that they apply in transition, in the half court, and defensively is in this 4 out of 6 games that they've won. I think all of that has correlated. And so I thought that in the first half, we probably fueled that a little too much. I thought we did a great job on the defensive glass. It was statistically our best in any half in SEC play. But as you know, a live ball turnover and or a block shot, which we deem a live ball turnover, particularly a team that's so good in the open floor and attacks in transition the way they do, we struggled. And I thought that the things that we were not good at in the first half, we were distinctly better at in the second half. And I thought the things that we were really good at in the first half, 87% defensive rebounding percentage is extraordinary for any team, but particularly us. We were not as good in the first 10 minutes of the second half. It was almost, we corrected some things, and the things we were doing good, we went away from. I thought the last 6.5-ish minutes, I thought was the first time that the things that were important to this game, I thought we kind of put it together on both sides of the ball. And personally, I thought that was when there was a little bit of separation for the first time.
It seemed like you guys were a little disjointed on offense the first few minutes, but when you subbed Andy,
I know, and that's when all that was starting.
But when you guys subbed in Andy and Solo particularly, just how much did their presence on the court kind of help turn momentum for you guys with what they bring?
Yeah, I was telling both of those guys in real time when I could talk to them during the game and when I was talking to them during the timeouts. I thought they were both impacting the game arguably as much as any other game. And I thought the symmetry that they were playing with was tremendous. I think Solo continues to find his voice. He knows exactly what to do. He knows exactly what to do before I do. But he's starting to say it out loud, and that's not only growing him up, but I think it's growing our group up. And Andy, as you guys know, he's not vocal. You can read his body language pretty easily, and he does things that you can't teach. But I even think he's beginning to realize how his voice and Solo's voice, like in that stretch defensively, and they were so predictable in what they're doing offensively. Similar to Tuesday and even tonight, that opens the floor for Gochi. That opens the floor for Ford. That opens the floor for Zoo. And I think Solo's confidence in what is best for him to be predictable offensively, he's probably in a groove that he's never been in. And I think that Andy is the most unselfish player I've ever coached, and he never wants to do anything that's not positive for the team. And I think he's accepting now that sometimes, Andy, it's okay if you shoot. That could be, like I tell CJ, if you touch it, you shoot it. And if you don't shoot it, that is selfish. And I think Andy is finally to the point, like, I would say that's the highest number of field goal attempts he's had all season in a Power 4 game for sure. But those were all the right shots. And also, I think that that's probably his highest number of field goal attempts because you don't want to be guarded as a non-attacker, a non-shooter. And if you look at the volume of shots that he's attempted, which is low, but what percentage of those shots have been from three? In my opinion, it's too high. It's not because he can't shoot. Everybody knows when he's going to shoot the three. Our program knows. But it's too high of a percentage of his total shots coming from three. And I thought his attacks today, he's probably attacking for an assist. But when he attacks and plays off 2 feet and can score and or get fouled, really helps our team.
During the game, the committee put out the preview brackets.
Yeah, my wife was telling me about that yesterday.
Yeah.
What did it say?
6 overall on the 2 line. Is that a mile marker for this journey in this team?
I wish the season was over today. That would be great. So we were the 6th seed.
6 overall, yeah, 6 seed.
And what was tell me the first 5.
Auburn, Alabama,
Duke,
Florida, Tennessee, y'all.
So 5 out of 6 are from the SEC. Where was Purdue?
2 line as well, I think.
Yes.
And they're losing, or
They
just
were number
lost.
7.
Yeah, I think they lost.
And Houston was also a 2 seed.
As rightfully so. It'll be interesting to see if that our game matters. But that probably means the next 6 games matter most if we're going to have a data point to determine that, right?
You know, just along those lines, Cal mentioned that y'all's ability to retain players has contributed to the success y'all have had this
That was
season.
nice of him.
You know, I guess just as you continue the season and you face teams like Arkansas that had to bring in so many transfers and you live in the portal era, just how valuable have you noticed the retention being in the moment?
Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts on that, and I want to make sure that none of it comes across arrogant. I think it's incredibly hard in what college athletics has become to do what we're doing. And you can't point to one person or one thing. And all of it is such subliminal messaging. And I try to make sure that I have my emotions in check before I say anything and try to have great humility and the opportunity to be a part of this. But what has transpired here and is transpiring here, not the results, all of the things that led to the results, I think it's absolutely historical. And I'm very humbled by it. I have great joy in it. I do not take anything for granted. But the sign half a team, sign 3/4 of your team every year, that's the way it's going to be. And I didn't grow up as a fan. I've never been a fan. Probably will never have a chance to be a fan considering I'm old now. But I think it's kind of cool that there's a lot of guys in our program, young adults and old adults, that if you still read the media guide, I know that doesn't matter anymore either, but you would see multiple people that you know. that have created a niche and created and established themselves in kind of an old school way. And I know this is new school, but in many respects, how we're operating is old school. And just because that's how my parents raised me, I think that's kind of cool. But we do not have the best players. We do not. I am not a Hall of Fame coach, as I mentioned yesterday. Coach has been in the Hall of Fame almost as long as I've been a head coach. But I tend to agree that no matter your talent level, if you all get together for the first time and pop firecrackers on July the 4th, you have not accumulated the reps of the group we have. And we're not more talented than they are, and I'm not a better coach, but we have accrued a lot of reps that matter, and we've got our heads knocked in a bunch. But there's great belief and trust and love and care, and we got a lot of people, the whole group, pulling in the same direction. So in real time, there's a lot of communication that is transparent, and that doesn't happen a lot anymore. And so for us to be the day after Valentine's Day and have our 20th win and our 9th SEC game and whatever our quad 1A record is, and quad 1 and 6th, and is it the tournament committee that does that or the ESPN guy? So that there's a data point with 3 weeks to play, cool. But we also know that a lot of those teams that are ranked ahead of us in the net and according to the seed line, we play. And so we have to be present in this moment and try to figure out how we can get a little better tomorrow, because I anticipate that this upcoming week will probably be a little harder than the week that we just lived.
Zurich had 9 defensive.
Just an absolute stalwart, like just stud. He is so tough, and his competitive nature just screams at you. But yet, if you don't know him, you think he should be a model because his smile is so gorgeous. And he has really, without getting into all of it, I'll tell you this, because I haven't looked at this, so give me just a second. Okay, when Arkansas shot and Zoo was on the floor, Zoo got 26% of the defensive rebounds. So, our kids know the offensive rebound percentage, defensive rebound percentage as a team. And the ones that have heard me just say it ad nauseum, I try to find creative ways to keep them engaged in the conversation. So I've been trying to teach Gochi this. So when Gochi played and Arkansas missed, he got 10% of the rebounds. Okay, well, if you line them up, you would think Gochi would get more rebounds, right? Now, where we've got to improve is when Zoo was on the floor and Texas A&M missed, he got 0%. Okay, well, he's a go-get for us. And so one number, like through the roof, off the chart as a under 6'7" guard, through the roof. But he's got to get better on the offensive glass. And we need the consistency of Gochi on both sides. But to both of their credits, they're to the point that they understand that we watch what we call rebounding. We were watching them this morning at 6'11". Like, they're in it. They understand it. They're locked in. They know the opponent. We break it down like it's a scouting report, just specific. Like I said, 87% defensive rebound percentage in the first half. We finished 74% for the game. In the last game against Georgia, we were 70. In the game that we played before that at Missouri, we were 68. The game before that was South Carolina. We were 74. So it's been a couple of weeks since we had that high number. But entering today, we were number one in the league in offensive rebound percentage and number one in the league in defensive rebound percentage. And Andy's great. Solo's great. Four is incredible. Zoo is so hard to guard. All of those things. I thought CJ was huge today too. But we are so dependent on those rebounding numbers. And Zoo doing that is really, really important. All right, guys. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.